A few weeks ago, I did the best multiplayer games on the Nintendo Switch in a video, which you can check out in the description or right here if you'd rather watch that than a single player video. But I wanted to do a single player video because it's the opposite. Some people just like to do one player experiences. So in this video, I'm going to name the top 10 single player games on the Nintendo Switch right now. And there are a ton of single player games, so I'll probably do more videos like this in the future because these are just my favorites right off the top of my head, the ones that I've enjoyed the most, but I could definitely do 2 or 3 more on great single player games. So first and foremost, I want to start out with a game that's a bit different, and that is Mr. Shifty. Now a lot of you guys probably have never heard of this game. This game's super awesome in my opinion because I love the fact that it has the cool shifting mechanic. You can shift through walls and then use your attacks. You can shift into people, and it just has a lot of variety in the different puzzly rooms, but also good combat to where you really have to think, how am I going to get through this area? How am I going to get through this space? And also be able to take out all of these enemies. And I think it's really cool. It's a unique concept. They've done things kind of like it before, but just the top-down style and how the game plays and the graphics and the characters and the personality. I think overall this is a great game, and it's a cheap game. I believe it's only $15 on the eShop, which is a great deal for this game. Pick it up if you want a quick indie game you can run through that's also really enjoyable to play. I've played this game multiple times just because I find it so fun. Another small indie title that's similar to Mr. Shifty that not a lot of people have heard of is Graceful Explosion Machine. One of the cool things about it is it's a shooter where you have different mechanics, like you have a weapon that can shoot around you, you have a sniper weapon, you just have your regular shooty weapon, whatever you want to call it, and then you can spin your character around 180 degrees, do attacks as you do that, but also the levels move from screen over to screen over to screen. So sometimes you'll see enemies in the right screen, you have to go over there, and then you move to the left screen from that, and you can go, it's almost like you're going in a circle, but you can't really tell, or it's like a long panorama and you're going from picture to picture, and it's really fun. It's a super enjoyable game. This is kind of a unique concept that I think a lot of people missed out on, and if you like games where you do shooting where you have to kind of get combos built up, it is a great high score game. That's a big point of it, is getting the highest score possible. If you like that kind of stuff, I think you should pick up Graceful Explosion Machine. It's also pretty cheap. It's $15 or $20 in the eShop. I can't exactly recall right now, but it is worth it. I think it's a lot of fun. I still pick it up and play it randomly from time to time just because it's so cool. There's a ton of different levels, tons of different combinations, and trying to get those high scores is actually a blast. Now for a bigger game, and I've talked about this game in a lot of my other videos, but that is Skyrim. Of course Skyrim's going to be on this list because it is an incredible RPG. It is a single player only game. There's hundreds of hours of content here. You can't go wrong with Skyrim just at all. I actually just did a video that's going to talk about 2 games in this list, and I'm going to link that right here and also down below, which is Skyrim versus Breath of the Wild. Which one should you get? Which one do I think is better? Because both of those games are some of the top tier single player games on the Switch right now, both really worth getting, but you can look at that video for more an in-depth review on Skyrim. And also the next game I'm going to talk about, which is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This game got mostly 10 out of 10s, one of the highest rated games of all time, game of the year on many different places. It's just an incredible game no matter which way you spin it. It revolutionized the Zelda franchise, is one of the biggest open worlds there is. There's so much to do in this game, and like I said in that video, it's like almost a 30-minute video of me going in depth in both of these games, their pros and their cons, and there are so many pros for both of them. They are so excellent. You will get hundreds of hours of content from both of them for $60, and that your money's gonna go so far because all of that content is quality and great, and it's just, they're both such incredible games. If you want a long single player journey that you can go through forever, that you'll really enjoy and have a blast in the whole time you're doing it, Skyrim and Breath of the Wild are both, I think, the top tier RPG action adventure type games that you can have on the Switch right now. Another single player game that is so amazing, I'm sure you've heard of it at this point, but some people still haven't played, and I just think they're missing out incredibly, Stardew Valley. Now, if you don't know what Stardew Valley is, it's a farming game that takes things like Minecraft and Terraria, but then adds it to this massive world with characters. You can have relationships, you can get married, you can have your own farm, you grow it, there's dungeons, there's enemies, there's so much intrigue and so many characters and personality and stuff that you can do. In this game, again, one of those games with hundreds of hours of content, and it's a smaller indie game and really cheap. This game should be $60, but it's $20, and Everyone should have Stardew Valley on their Switch, no matter who you are. This should be something you have because there's so much content here. It's such a fun game. And while a farming game doesn't sound fun, you can just see from the gameplay, it's much more than a farming game. Out of everyone I've known who's played this game, I've never heard someone say they don't like it or they don't enjoy it because there's so much to do. It's so much fun. And it has managing systems like with your farm and stuff that actually are addicting and really enjoyable. And you never feel like, oh, I gotta manage my farm. And I think this is a game that flies under people's radars because it is an indie and it's a farming game. People just look at it and like, I'm not gonna like this. I promise you you'll like it. Please pick up Stardew Valley. The next game, I'm actually gonna lump in two games together, and that is the Batman Telltale series and the Minecraft Story Mode Complete Adventure Telltale series. I'm putting them together because they're both similar but in different worlds. But the Telltale games are incredible. Both of these series are really great. And even though I really love Batman, I especially love the Minecraft one. I'm not even a huge fan of Minecraft, but I just had so much fun playing through Minecraft Story Mode. There's so much unique characters in that game, and like they breathed so much life into Minecraft. I didn't think it was possible. When I heard that game was coming out, I was like, they're gonna make a Minecraft Story Mode. What are they gonna do? I was blown away. It's incredible. I actually have a whole playthrough of all 8 episodes on my channel, and I haven't played through the Batman games on my channel, but I've played through them. The Batman one's great too. I really love Minecraft, but I think you go right with either of those or both if you want. They're both, I think, $40, so they're a bit more on the expensive side, but there's plenty of hours of content there, and they're super enjoyable and replayable because there's so many different choices you make, and each choice actually makes a difference to how the game ends up. So I would definitely play those games if you like choice-based, story-based. They're both kind of point-and-click games. That's kind of Telltale's style with quick presses and stuff in there and stuff. So if you like that kind of stuff, deep story, really getting into the weeds, talking, making those story decisions where you have different options, the Telltale games are for you. The next one was a shocker for me, and that is LA Noire. Now, the reason it was a shocker for me is because I played this game on the PS3 back in the day, or maybe it was Xbox 360, I don't remember which one, and it was incredible. The game is so awesome because it has different mechanics, one of them which is you are a detective and you're trying to figure out when people are lying, when people are telling the truth, and you'll see their facial expressions, and they did an incredible amount of work on the facial expressions of this game. You should actually check it out. The technology that they used is unbelievable, especially back then when they used it. For all that they did to have slight little movements in the face so that someone's trying to tell you the truth or a lie, they're saying their side, and you see a little twitch down here, their eye kind of moves in a weird way, and you can actually notice all that stuff because of the technology they used. But the reason it was a shock for me is because I did not expect this game to come to the Switch, and it's amazing on the Switch. It's so much fun. Again, here there's hours and hours of content, and it's a beautifully crafted game. The atmosphere, the world, the characters, the story, the mechanics, all of it is so much fun, and I think this is a game that you should pick up. And it's also only $50, which almost all of these ports have been coming over at $60, and this one being $10 cheaper does make it even more enticing, and I think it's worth it for anyone that likes story. And because it's made by Rockstar, the people who made Grand Theft Auto, you can tell that it's gonna have incredible quality, and it does. You can look at the gameplay footage here, maybe look it up for yourself to see if it's your type of game. So when I started editing this video, I realized that I somehow forgot one of the games. I don't know how I did that, but that is SteamWorld Dig 2, and I just want to give a quick shout out to it because it's a game that's all about loot, exploration, exploring this big world that's very interesting and has a bunch of different facets to it. You can get powers, you can do a lot of upgrades, and there's just a bunch of stuff to explore, a bunch of stuff to do. It's a really vast world, and it's really addicting. The loot and the grind of going down and mining through areas and finding new spots, finding new dungeons and caverns, all of that's really fascinating, and it's just a great game to play. It's really cheap as well on this list. It's one of the cheaper games, so I'd recommend picking this up, especially if you just want a cheaper eShop game. I've talked about this in multiple videos because this is one of my favorite games that came out on the Switch last year, and it's just a joy to play, so I'd recommend SteamWorld Dig 2 as well. Alright, we're down to the last two. The first one is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I really wanted to put this game in here because I love RPGs. They're my favorite genre, and while there are definitely problems with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, it's kind of a controversial game. I think it's amazing. Some people hate the combat, some people love the combat, some people are just kind of in between. I just really enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the size, I enjoyed the scale, I enjoyed the amazing land and all the different titans that you went to, and everything about it was so beautiful. And there are some things like, yeah, it does kind of suck that the combat's just automatic, but not super bad. I mean, I enjoyed it enough to continue playing it, so I think that's a really cool aspect of it. And as far as single player experiences go, this is another one of those where you buy it for $60 and you have so much content. It just goes on and on and on. And I never felt like it was droning on or getting repetitive or anything like that. I enjoyed my experience all the way through, and there's still more for me to go back and do at this point. And so this is another RPG like Skyrim and also like Zelda, where if you want a big experience, you want many hours of content, and you want to have something new and fun, this is the game. And it's a JRPG, so they all kind of have their unique aspects. Skyrim is a Western RPG. Zelda's like an RPG light action adventure, and this is JRPG to the core, and that's something that's awesome. This is the best JRPG, in my opinion, on the Switch. Shout out though to I Am Setsuna. I Am Setsuna, another single player game that is incredible. It's a lot cheaper. You can pick that game up too. Actually, it's not really a lot cheaper. It's cheaper, but I Am Setsuna is great as well. You could check that one out, see which one looks a little bit better for you. And last, this game can technically be played in co-op, but I think it's a single player game, and that's Super Mario Odyssey. Because the co-op thing is someone else plays the hat and it spins the hat around and stuff. And people who are single player purists are probably gonna be mad that I put this on the list because it's not just single player. But come on, this game is meant to be played single player. That's the most enjoyable experience that you could have. And Super Mario Odyssey, like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, 10 out of 10s everywhere. Some people did give it Game of the Year. It's one of the best Mario games, if not the best Mario game. And what can be said about Super Mario Odyssey that already has it? It's incredible. There are so many different varieties of kingdoms. You have Cappy, you throw Cappy onto enemies, and those enemies you take over. So you throw it onto a Goomba and you start running around as a Goomba. It's super novel, really unique, playing through all of those characters that you've seen in these Mario universes but never known how they act and what they can do. It's really awesome to get that other side of the experience, and the game is just a masterpiece in general. I think it's meant to be played single player. You can technically play it co-op, but come on, single player purists, don't hate me. It's definitely a single player game at its core, at its heart. That's what it's meant to be, and it's a blast. You can't really go wrong with any of the games on this list, but I think Mario is one basically everyone can get into, because not very many people don't like Mario. There are people that don't like Zelda or giant games like Skyrim. Mario is not that big. While you can get hundreds and hundreds of moons, and that will take you many, many hours, the game itself is not overwhelming. It's not gigantic, and that really hard stuff at the end that will take you many, many hours, that there's not a huge barrier to that. That is there for you to be able to get, and you can jump in all the way through the ending really easily and then start getting the hard stuff. So it's a little bit of everything for everybody, and that's one of the best single player games for sure. All right guys, those were the 10 single player Nintendo Switch games that I think are amazing and worth getting, and I hope that they helped you decide what you want to get a little bit. I plan on doing more videos like this, and also leave in the comments below any of the games I left out. If you think there are single player games that you're like, how could you not put this in here? Put it in the comments below and maybe I'll add it in the next video. I really enjoy single player games. They're my favorite types of games, so I'm definitely going to do more like this, and I'd love to hear your feedback, or if you think some of these are terrible and shouldn't have been in the video, let me know that in the comments below as well. Anyway, if you're new to the community and you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that subscribe button for new gaming videos every day, and don't forget to give that like button some love. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let's continue to create the greatest gaming community in the world. I'll see all you guys in the next video.